One of the most common problems that people run into when they're taking pictures in the snow is underexposure. And that is what we have here in this photograph. There is all of this area that should be white in the snow and in the background, but since it's underexposed, it's gray. And all of the things that should have been gray, like the jacket here, are almost black. There's just a tad bit of detail in there. So there are a couple of things that we can do after the fact to correct this. What should have been done, of course, is when the picture was taken, the photographer should have used exposure compensation and added about a stop or stop and a half or 2 stops of exposure compensation. But as I say, that didn't happen. So to deal with this in Photoshop, there are a couple of simple little things that we can do. The first one is use a levels adjustment. I'm going to do that here by going up to the Image menu, selecting Adjustments, and Levels. Now what you can see here in this histogram, this black tower represents the highlight detail in this photo. All of this information is the snow down here and in the background. But this little white triangle is the white point. So to get the white point down to where the white stuff actually should be, you just move this little slider, and there we go. Now we've got the snow looking a lot more like snow. And I can actually push that down a little bit further, right to there. Another thing we can do is move the gray point in the middle here to the left, and that'll bring up some detail in the shadows a little bit. There we go. And just press OK. And already that's a pretty big improvement. Now the second thing is to go in and try to bring up those shadows a little bit more using the Shadows Highlights command. By default this was at 35, and you can already see that that has made a big difference. Especially in the jacket here, you can see that this actually is a gray jacket with black on it rather than just a plain black jacket. I think I'll actually take that down just a little bit and press OK. Now the only problem with this photo right now, well, the main problem with this program right now, photo, is that the things that used to be black, like the pants, are actually not looking that black anymore. And you can see on the histogram here that there is nothing down here at the black point. So I'm just going to go back in, use another levels adjustment, and bring that black point up just a little bit to right about there. And then we're fine. Now I'm also going to just crop off the bottom of this picture. As you can see, there is a dog head down here. Just get that out of the way. I don't think there's anything down there that really contributes to the picture. And there we go. Now compare this to what we opened with, where there's virtually no detail in here. And that's a lot more like what it looked like in person. Now if you decide that that looks a little bit too washed out, you can actually go back in to the adjustments. This time I'm going to select a curves layer and get that on the screen here. And I'm just going to drag my curve down just to sort of darken a little bit of this detail in the snow. And that looks good to me. That also brings a little bit of color saturation into the skin tones here. Okay, and I'll press Alright, and we're done.